There's not much that's more stressful for your cat than having a neighbour's cat, a wild cat, stray cat, a strange cat coming through the cat flap and eating your cat's food. It's actually pretty common, and I am having this problem now. Now, I've had it in the past, and I bought a microchip cat flap, which absolutely cured the problem. That lasted about 10 or 12 years, and I then replaced it with this kind of cheaper model, because the microchip ones are a little bit more expensive. But I've got the problem again, and I've gone back to the Sureflap microchip cat flap. So I'm going to be installing this today and talking you through the benefits and why it may be the cure for your cat's stress.
So just to run through a few of the features of the Sureflap microchip cat flap, it can be used with a collar tag, so that's a specific RFID collar tag that you can buy. You do need a mounting adapter. I'll come to that in a bit. You can just use it manually. You don't need to use it with batteries or as a microchip cat flap. It has a low battery indicator. And yeah, that's that. You also do need a mounting adapter of some sort. So this one here is what I've got. It's suitable for glass and wall mounting. If you have got a particularly deep, thick wall, then you're also going to need a tunnel extender as well. So don't just buy the big box there that I'm opening now. You also need to buy, in addition, either what's also on the table there or a tunnel extender in addition. Now, as for the box itself, as always, these come pretty well packed with lots of plastic, so everything's wrapped in plastic there. And we've got our manual too. So see there's a 3-year warranty as well, with an installation and instruction manual that just runs you through how to go about it, what steps you should use. There's one step there that talks about the screw length. It does come with 3 different lengths of screws, and it discusses, how which one you should use and when, and that's going to depend on the thickness of whatever it is you're installing the cat flap through. So this is the main unit. So on the front there, we've got that main unit. On the back, we've got what screws on the outside and sandwiches the cat flap holding it in place. You can see the tunnel there as well. We've got the dial on that bottom left, so that allows you to lock it completely so it can't open in either direction. You can lock it in either direction, so your cat can come in but not out, or your cat can go out and not come in, or you can leave it open in both directions, which is obviously what you're going to want to there. And then just then I was pointing to where the microchip scanners are. So as your cat comes through, those 2 kind of black dots at the top, they scan for a microchip. And if they find one that has been programmed in, then they will open that cat flap, which is that grey flap there that I'm just pushing down with my thumb there. If it scans the microchip, that bit opens and allows the rest of the cat flap to operate there. Okay, so just opening the mounting adapter for the glass or wall, you're going to need this. So this is going to actually be what sandwiches the cat flap in place. You'll see when I install it in a little bit, and actually holds it in place. So how that works is you put one on. I've actually put that on the wrong way around. You'll see when I actually install it, it's better. But the flat edges should be against each other, because that's what's going to be pushing against the glass. But you have them like that, and then what actually you have is you have the glass partition in the middle, and then you put that final piece over, and then the screws go through that, and it holds it all in place. Might seem a bit confusing. It's very straightforward and pretty obvious, as you'll see in just a minute.
Right, so now that it's all unpacked and I'm ready to go, let's get it installed. There we go. So it wasn't quite as easy as the snap of the fingers, but it really is super easy, and I'll run you through the process now.
So the first step clearly is that you have to remove the existing cat flap if you've got one, or you need to have a hole cut in whatever window or wherever it is that you're installing that cat flap. So yeah, just removing that cat flap there to make space for the new one. Came out all right. Try not to break it, just because it's nice to have a different one. I nearly did then, but thankfully it's okay. So those are the 2 bits you need on the inside of wherever you're placing this. So the main unit and one of those mounting adapters. So you need to have that so that you can easily reach it from the inside, like I'm doing there. And there I'm just checking the screws. Now, what I should have done is I should have had a tape measure and measured the thickness, but I just held up a few different screw sizes and chose the correct one. So here it can be a little bit of a fiddle. You need to kind of hold it in place. Then you slide that other mounting adapter. So you see you've got flat side to flat side there, not how I kind of demonstrated it wrongly when I was unpacking it. And then you have the other final bit over the top there. That fits in place, and you can see how that's kind of sandwiching the glass. It is helpful to have an extra pair of hands or to hold the screws in your mouth here, just so that you've got everything nicely within reach. So popping the screws in and then tightening those two screws up. Now, I would be careful just about over tightening them, so you just want them kind of in place and snug but not tight to begin with, and that's going to then allow you to move the cat flap around into position before tightening it to finally squeeze it in its final position effectively. There we go. So once I've got them in place and snug, still allows me to kind of move the cat flap, make sure that it's centered in that hole before tightening it for the final time. And you could use the drill here, but I kind of tightened it and then actually just finished it off with a hand screwdriver, just so that I could feel that I wasn't over tightening and risking ruining the screws or threading that hole. And then it's all in place solidly. Okay, so then we're installing it finally. We're putting the battery in, so it takes 4 AA batteries. They last, I think, about 6 months, maybe it's 12 months, it probably says on the box. But they do last a long time. One of the risks is that it runs out of batteries and you don't realise. The light will blink if that's the case, but if you're not monitoring for that, then yeah, just be aware of that. Now, to program it, you press that button and then you let go after about a second, and you'll see that the grey flap on the bottom goes down, and then that red light blinks, and that just lets you know that the microchip is waiting for a cat to pass through. It will then scan that chip and store it in its memory and then allow that microchip through. So here we've got Molly. I'm just giving her a bit of gentle encouragement with some food the other side. She's pretty food motivated. She went through that really nicely and then is tucking into her meal. So I'd certainly recommend that you do have something that encourages your cat through. You may also want to lock that microchip actually open, the cat flap open, so it's not requiring the microchip scanner. And I'll discuss that in just a little bit. Just there's an extra noise there that might put your cat off using it for the first time. But both Molly and Millie, my two cats, have used these before it broke. After kind of 10-12 years of use, the last one I had, so they're pretty comfortable there, although it's a change from that other plastic one that they've been using for the last couple of years or so. Okay, so it does make a bit of a noise when it opens, and that's that noise there. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. That can put some cats off. Now, to use it as a normal cat flap, if you like, you open it as you would were you programming it for a new cat, but then you just take the batteries out, and that leaves that latch, that grey latch, locked in the down position. You can then use that indefinitely. If you then put batteries back in, that grey latch pops up again, and that's just a replay of that noise. So just bear in mind that might put your cat off if they are a little bit nervous, which is why you might want to try using it to begin with it locked down, just so that your cat gets used to it and doesn't freak out completely because it's a completely new flap that makes a funny noise. Okay, and then we've got Millie coming through, my other cat. So she's wondering what's going on. She is, yeah, through there absolutely fine.
So do I recommend the Sureflap microchip cat flap? Well, it's the second one that I've bought, so clearly I think they work all right. It's been in use again for a couple of months actually. It does need a clean, so that's one thing. If you're finding that it's not working, then just clean that those sensors at the top and give the door a clean at the same time. Remember to keep an eye out for that battery, those batteries running out. If you find that your cat can't get in, check the batteries and check that it's clean as well. And if you think it's for your cat, I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's an affiliate link. If you click on that, I do earn a small commission, but it's at no extra cost to you. And that just helps support the channel. And if your cat is really stressed and you don't know why, this might be only one of the solutions. And I discuss more in the video that's linked on screen. So tap on that video. But until then, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pet's Health. because they're family.